Hi guys, this is Christina from Being Mrs. Jones. I just wanted to shoot a pretty quick video tutorial about how to make a hair bow from ribbon. I have 3 different ribbons that I'm going to be using for the particular bow that I'm going to make today. These 2 are 3/8 of an inch width, and this is the, hold on, let's see, I think that's 5/8 inch width. I'm not quite sure, but it's definitely less than an inch. This is glue stick, of course. This is the button that I'm going to use for the center. This is the headband that it's going to attach to, but you really don't need that. But this is the clip that it's going to be attached to, and I like to use these that have the flat, the wide flat front. You can get those at Hobby Lobby. Felt that's also going to be used for the back, and of course scissors. Now the main part of my bow, I'm going to use this this wider ribbon here. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of measure out what size I want my loop to be. I don't really measure, like, I don't do any type of exact measurements. I really just freehand. So you just kind of get an idea of how big you want the loop to be. And then from there, you take some of your hot glue. You use a high temperature hot glue gun, and be very careful with the high temperature ones, because while the low temperature, if you touch it, it's a little uncomfortable, but the high temperature will burn the crap out of you. So be very careful with using the high temperature. But I use the high temp because it holds much better, and you want to make sure that it's secure. I'm sure you can hear Easy in the background. Please try to ignore that. I will. But okay, so we've got our first loop made, and that's going to kind of set the size that we're going to do for the bow. You're going to fold over and just kind of eyeball it to make sure that your second loop is about the same size as the first loop. And for this one, I'm going to not do it straight on. I'm going to slide it over a little so that it doesn't line up exactly with the other loop. If you want to do it more exactly, you can always measure and cut the ribbon for each loop and then just do them individually. But it's a little more time consuming. But if you want it to be perfect, you know, you'll probably want to do that. When I make the ones that I sell, I normally try to, well, now I normally try to measure now that I see the difference that it makes. But after you do that first one, then you're gonna just continue looping over and looping over. Because here and now we have the base of our bow, and it's finished. So we can put that to the side and then decide what we want. Because I'm going to, and you want to start with wherever your ribbon ended. That's the end you want to have up, because it'll have a chance to get covered up by the button that you're going to use for accent and the rest of the bow. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue and secure that down. And I'm going to put another glue stick in my gun. I'm almost out of glue. But I'm going to start making little loops like this. That's not really a folded over loop. It's just kind of twisted around. Hopefully from seeing it, seeing what I'm doing will help you get a better idea of how to do it than me actually explaining it, because I don't know how to explain it. But you loop and then just loop around like that, and kind of make sure, you know, kind of try to eyeball it and make sure that it's about the same width as the other one. Last one of those loops, and then I'm going to cut that. And this is what we have so far. And it's already looking really pretty. So we're going to put that to the side. And then with our red ribbon, we'll make some more loops like the ones that we did before for the base part. Since this is going to be going right on top, we're going to loop and then a little glue. Make sure you're not, doing too much that it spills out and you burn your fingers like I am, or like I have multiple times. And then I don't have enough to do a second loop. Like I said, this was just the last of what I had there. So cut that off, and then you have a cute little Minnie Mouse kind of thing going on. And we're going to glue that on there. We're going to make sure that we use this back side where we cut the ribbon. We're going to make sure that that goes facing down. Sorry. And I'm actually going to do this way so that it's kind of the opposite way from the other. And put it all together. And now, for the end, we're going to do this button in the middle. And so, when you're doing buttons, of course, the buttons have these little holes in the middle. You want to make sure that you kind of avoid those holes, because glue will come pushing up through those, and it doesn't look bad unless the glue comes way out. But now that I've done it more, I try to just avoid the holes altogether. And so when I do my glue on here, I'm going to just go kind of around it. And I'm also going to do glue down here on my actual bow to kind of create a little hot glue sandwich. Okay, my battery died in the middle of showing you guys the button, but now we have, we have the button on. And now we're going to check for any gaps around the button or any places where the button is not attached to the bow, because you really want a nice seal of glue between there. And so any place that has a gap, we're going to do just a thin line of glue, being very careful. And then we're going to press the bow up around the button so that the ribbon can make sure to, be pretty tightly against that. And then we're going to check the other side. I'm sure we have that same problem over here on the other side. Gonna do that again. And now our bow is pretty much finished. All we need to do is make it able to be attached to the little girl's hair or to a headband. So we're going to turn our bow over, and here's where our felt comes in. We're going to cut a small circle of felt, or not really a circle, more like a kind of a rounded rectangle, no, more of an oval, not really a rounded rectangle, but not quite a circle either. So we're going to cut kind of an oval shape and measure it up, make sure that it's not big enough to be seen from the other side of the bow. We're going to give that a nice good covering of glue. But be careful of the edges because you don't want the glue to spill out of your edges. So we got that, and then we're going to press this down. And the reason that we're using felt, or I started using felt for the backing, is because I discovered that the felt kind of sticks to the glue a little better for this back piece, since it's going to be attaching to this metal. And so now here is the kind of tricky part. This metal, it stays pretty cold, so what you may want to do is kind of rub it a little to warm it up some, because we don't want the metal to make our glue get cold too quickly. So this part, we're going to put the glue along here, a nice amount of it, and then we're going to quickly put it down on the felt and press so that it stays and the glue doesn't get hard before we get to the felt with it. Okay, so that part is done. It's attached. And we're going to put that to the side for a second while we cut another piece of felt, and we make sure that it's wide enough that it's going to cover our clip and get far enough that will have felt on felt. I'm going to round my corners. Sorry. I'm going to round my corners, and then I'm going to open the clip and glue like that. Tuck that in there, and then press this down to get that a nice good seal there. And I made my piece a little too big, and so I'm gonna trim that some. But so we have our clip connected. Now I'm gonna trim this off a little. And we are all finished. And this can clip directly to your child's hair or to a ponytail, or if it's a little baby where if it's like a newborn, they don't really have hair yet, or you just don't want to clip it to the hair, you can get one of these little crochet headbands, and if you buy my bows, I include one that's coordinated, and you can just clip it right to the headband, and there you have it, a headband that you can use, or you can just use it as a regular hair clip. I know that this is really long, but it's informational, so I guess that's okay. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment on this post or video, or email me, and I'll do the best that I can to get back to you. Thanks. Bye.